everyone. Okay, I've got 3 batches of soap to cut from yesterday today. I've not done a video for a long while again, I'm sorry. Anyway, the less said about that the better. It's been a busy old time, just sorting out paperwork and things. So the first thing I'm going to cut is smoke and mirrors. And then the second one I've got to cut is wild mint, which is here, and this has got a green base, a cocoa line, and then the white top, well, it's just clay on the top of this one. And then I've got lemongrass and ginger. This is always lovely. I'm just not sure which cutter I'm going to use yet, because these have been done in my nurture moulds, the Nurture Soap Supplies moulds, and they might be a little bit higher than the ones I do when I make chunks, like bigger chunks. So I'm going to unmould and just see what the height is like, then I can determine which cutter to use, because I really don't know which one to use right now. Let's just see what the difference is in height. So I'm just going to get my trimmer. There we go. So I did film the making of some of these, but not for YouTube. I was just filming on my phone, because I was just doing sort of 5 quick batches. So this is just the cut, and I thought I'll do a YouTube video because I've not been on YouTube for a while, and just show you the cut of these. There's some pretty pictures. Yeah, I've been doing some TikToks, and I've been doing Instagram posts, Facebook posts. But yeah, I've not been on YouTube as much. I've just sort of, I don't know why really, no reason. Okay, so what's the difference in height? Yeah, these need to go slightly thinner, so I'm going to use my multi-bar cutter, which is, I think it's about 1.25 inches thick, this one. So let's try and bring you in a little bit. Hold on. Okay, a bit closer so you can see what these are like. So there's the batch. This one's got really, like a really lovely smoky, it's hard to describe this scent. That's bridey. Yeah, I don't really know. It's sort of incense based, but also like a smoke, but it reminds me of something else, and I can't think what that is. But anyway, I'm going to cut it on this cutter. So we've got enough samples there, or just cut. Yeah, let's just see how many we get if I do it that way. So these are slightly less wide than my single wire cutter. Just need to be careful because these are going to be hard. I did a water discount like I normally do, about 40% discount, so it means I just take 40% of the required water out. So there's the inside. So I just poured the soap and the colours on one side and then just used a chopstick to swirl it over to the other side. I was just trying something different yesterday. So yeah, it's kind of pretty, kind of alright. But I was only making 1 loaf, and I thought I'll just do a batch of, I was going to do 5 different soap loaves, and I ended up doing, I think it's 4, but one of them went awry because I forgot to add some liquid oils into my last batch, so I had to quickly hot process a coffee batch and yeah, add the extra oils. So it's just, my brain wasn't there yesterday. It was in the first few soaps I made, and then I was going to make just 1 loaf of each one, and then on the last one I decided I'm going to make 2 loaves of this one, and then I forgot to put the added liquid oil. I did put some of the liquid oil, and it should have been double, and I forgot. So I cocked it up, so I had to add the rest. Dear, we do these things. We do these things. Okay, so this doesn't really give me any spares if I do that. So out of this cutter then, and that £5 mould, I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bars. So yeah, these are just small 15 bar batches. They look quite pretty. So I just used a chocolate brown mica, or like a golden bronze, and a gold. It just needs to be trimmed a little bit. I'll do that on a trimmer because it's just caught the end of that bar there. Okay, so that is Smoke and Mirrors. It smells very, very nice. It's quite masculine as well. I think men would really like that one if they've not tried it before. And then we're going to move on to Wild Mint. So that was the second one I made. So Wild Mint I've done before. I've done several batches of this one, and it's such a lovely mint. It's unlike any other mint I've smelled. It's got a really lovely garden mint scent. It smells just like when I used to walk into my nan's garden. She always had mint growing, and it smells just like that. It's lovely. It's more of like a watery mint, like a watery garden mint. It's just beautiful, beautiful scent. I've not used it for a long time, but like I said, I just wanted to do some limited edition batches for summer. It's always nice to give some extra bits. People always like a bit of variety. So let's trim that. So this one I just did the green base, cocoa, lime, and then I use kaolin clay. I normally use titanium dioxide. I've been using a lot less of that lately and just moving to clay instead because it's nicer. So again, we will use this cutter. So there's some mint in the base. You might be able to see those speckles, and then that line, and then the top. So these are all going to be quite hard because they've all got that water discount applied. So just be careful as I don't want to break my cutter wires. Just have to go try and get above it rather than yanking it down, otherwise that's like a surefire way to break a wire. And just do it really slow. There we go. Okay. There's the inside. And that's what the bar looks like. So they're nice. I love these. So I should be taking a couple of bars for myself, I think. It's the trouble when you do limited editions. Half the time you don't get to actually have some for yourself because they get snapped up. So, how has everybody been doing? I've just been having a lot of hassles with family and people getting sick, and yeah, one thing after another lately, so I've not really had time to just sort of think about doing videos. It's just been a lot of stuff going on and just looking after people basically. And Matt's been busy, he's doing all the pottery shows this year, so I've been at home a lot on those times when he's going away. He's away next weekend, he's going skateboarding in Southampton, so I'll be alone with the 3 dogs again. And then a few weeks ago he did a pot fest, so he was away for 4 nights, so I was looking after all 3 dogs. It's lovely actually, it's nice to have a little bit of peace and quiet in the house. I think everybody likes it when they get the house to themselves. I was enjoying myself. I did miss him, but you know, you get like nice food and watch what you want on the TV. So I was watching some films and started reading my books and had a nice time. And he really enjoyed being away as well because you get to meet lots of other potters that are doing the same thing, and it's nice to have a common ground with other people that make, you know. So I think he's enjoyed that. Other than that, life's just been a bit manic. I'm just trying to get things made at work as well as juggle family life, you know. But hey ho. Okay, so this is Lemongrass and Ginger. This is one I've made before as well. So I think this is a fragrance that I get from Candle Shack, and I love this. I think there's quite a bit of essential oil in it, lemongrass, but it's more of a sugary lemongrass, so it's definitely got fragrance, but it definitely smells like a lemongrass oil mixed with like a sugary scent. It's lovely. This is why this one sells really well, because it's not just a straight boring lemongrass. See what I mean? It's got something else. Oh, it's lovely. It's almost fizzy, like a fizzy sort of drink. Really lovely. Very, very nice for hot summer days too, because it's refreshing. And I make this one with spirulina. A bit green. It does fade eventually. It's more like a sagey green. This is coming up a bit more bluey green, but it's actually more sagey green than blue green in real life. So yeah, over time it does fade, but I like to keep this one out of the window, so I don't really put this one on show, so it's on the shelf. And this is the soap that sells, when this one's on the shelves in the shop, it really sells. I think people just pick it up and just love this bar for some reason. So I just did a little drop swirl. I just wanted it to look really nice and rustic without being too over the top, and I've just copied the design from last time. And it's just lovely. It's just got a lovely, nice, wholesome look to it. And it smells so good. I love this bar. So these will probably be about 150 gram bars. They're just slightly thinner than my chunks that are lower and fatter. I prefer the lower, fatter bars than I do the taller, thinner bars, but this batter mix has too much in there to make it into the width that I normally do because of the amount of oil in there. It would be too big. They'd be about 170, 180 grams, and I like them to be about 150, so that is why I cut with this cutter. So I've got this cutter, I've got another multi-bar cutter which is inch cuts. This is about 1.25 inches, and then I've got my single wire cutter. Somebody said on TikTok, oh girl, you need a multi-wire cutter, and I said, well, I've got two, but for my chunky bars I use a single wire. And I got them for craft's sake before they closed, so I was lucky to get one actually, because they closed not long after I got that last cutter. So there we go, that's 3 batches. I've got another batch to cut as well, but it went wrong, like I said. It's a coffee batch, so I just hot processed it. So I want to just mess about with that and see what I can do with the top, because I can't stand the look of a hot process. So the tops, I hate them. So I'm going to see if I can cut the tops off and maybe do something with it. If not, I will cut it into samples and use it as freebies for orders. There's always a way to use up stuff that goes wrong. Generally, if a soap goes wrong, I'm so distraught by it going wrong that I end up throwing it in the bin. But yesterday I was like, no, that's like two lots of oils. Let me just come down to you a second. Yeah, 2 lots of oils I didn't want to waste. So I thought, no, get that back in the pot and we'll hot process. And then we'll figure out something to do with it. I just couldn't bear the thought of losing. If it was like 1 loaf, I wouldn't have been too fussed. Sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't have been too fussed, but because it was 2 loaves worth of oil, I thought, no, I'm not going to waste that. I'm just going to shove it back in the pot, heat it down, add some sodium lactate to try and liquefy it a little bit more, and it went okay. I'll show you what it looks like, because I did manage to get it in the mould, but it's ugly. It's really ugly. Look, it's gross, so I'm going to chop it and see what we get inside. I'll just see actually what it is like inside. It's probably really cronky and gross, so it might just have to be yeah, it is, it's disgusting. It might just have to be sampled, so I can cut all these edges off till we've got something that resembles something smooth. Look at it, I mean, for Christ's sake. It definitely looks like mashed potatoes that have gone really wrong. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to save this, but we'll see. I will do my best. But yeah, that's actually hilarious. Look at this, it looks like a piece of volcanic rock. So when soap making goes bad. That's what happened yesterday. Anyway, I'll be back to make some making videos. And if there's anything else you want to see, then leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you want recipes, there's links below to my Etsy shop where you can buy all my soap formulas, my body cream formula, hair conditioner, shampoo bars. There's all sorts in there, even essential oil blends. So if there's things you want to try and make, then they are all in my Etsy shop, and feel free to get those. If you need any help with them, you can always just message me through Etsy, and I'm there on hand on my phone, like pretty much immediately. So if you need me, I'm there, and I'll be back very, very soon. Okay, ta-ta.